College isn't for everyone, but if it is for you and you really want to get that degree, then success is very much a reality if you follow a few simple tips. What I've learned from my personal experience in college is that it's all about balance. And based upon my own experiences in creating balance in your life and your schedule, I've compiled a list of 3 tips. Number 1, go to class. This is so important but often overlooked. I've myself seen people fall behind on going to classes and end up falling behind in the class and not receiving the grade that they would have liked simply because they were not going to class and missing out on vital information. Tip number 2, be social. Now, this is one of the things that I feel like I failed to do my first year of college, and it had an impact on me. Like I said, college is all about balance, and an important part of balancing out your life is having some fun. You need a stress reliever. You need to find friends to hang out with. Whatever it is that you like to do, do it. Not every day, not skip class and go to a party. But it is important to find something that is fun to do so that it can balance out with all of the work and stress and any other struggles that you have in your own personal life. And my final tip is to go to sleep. Sleep is also extremely important, and I feel that it's overlooked often by a lot of college students because they feel like, oh, well, I have to study or I have to finish this, But my tip to you would be wake up on time, go to sleep on time, and get your full 8 hours plus of sleep. That way you can force yourself to be productive throughout the entire day and use your whole day and, not be forced to take naps because you're tired. And that way you can be productive and get your sleep and be ready for the next day to receive any new information, complete all the tasks that you need to complete. And with all that being said, in conclusion, if you take anything out of this, I just want you to know maintaining balance in your life is the key to success in college. Mark, it's time to go.
Have you ever been so tired you could sleep anywhere? Well, that was me my first couple weeks at college. Now, starting school, there's a balance between your personal life and your school life. And it is an exhausting task, but it is manageable. I'll be talking about 2 of the major things that I learned throughout college, as well as how I adapted to it. My first point is, schoolwork is very time consuming. So when you enroll in school, you're not only just taking, 2 classes a day, you're also taking labs, you have your drills, along with, evening review sessions. Now, all professors say when you take at least a 3-hour class, you gotta put in 6 hours outside of school to study, which in turn, if you're taking 15 hours, you have a lot of studying to do throughout the week, which can be tiresome, but is doable. My second point is, along with school, you want to be social and interact with everybody, but to an extent. So my personal life took out majority of my day and a majority of my week. So I worked part-time during the week, which didn't leave much room for studying. And when I wasn't studying or working, I like to be out hanging out with friends, being social, going to different concerts and events, which in turn left no room to study. How I learned how to deal with all that, I learned how to prioritize, manage, and put what needs to be done first. So compared to high school, you had someone following you along, telling you to prepare yourself for the class, study. Well, in college, you're on your own. You have to learn to manage your own time. So how I learned it is setting a schedule, having a calendar laid out, putting what I need to do first before I go out and socialize and have fun. Now in conclusion, college does consist of long nights of studying, but if you prioritize and put the studying before your social activities, then your college life will be enjoyable. It will be the best 4 years of your life. Now, balancing all these activities is a daunting task, but can be done. With a little bit of practice, anybody can set up their own schedule and succeed in college. And sleep comes easy when you prioritize. Hey Kai,
Yeah.
could I borrow your notes?
Yeah.
I stayed out too late and I had a test this morning to study for, so I missed lecture.
I understand. It's fine.
Thank you.
No problem.
Are you prepared for college? Listen, college is not easy. So if I could give any advice to you all based off my experience as a second semester freshman, it'd be this. Number one, students need to be ahead, okay? Students need to be ahead of their professor in regards to the lecture. Students need to always be ahead and on top of due dates. And students even need to arrive to class early sometimes, so you have time to sit down, relax, take out your stuff, and just be prepared to receive the information so it doesn't go in one ear and out the other. You don't want to get behind in the beginning because it's going to be extremely hard to bounce back, and then you're going to be playing what I like to call catch up. So what I did was I got an agenda where I was able to write out all my classes and my assignments to make sure I didn't miss anything. Some people prefer reminders in their phones, other people prefer to put sticky notes throughout their room, whatever works for you to make sure you stay on top of things. In particular, the first couple weeks of college, I would say, are the most important because that's when you're meeting your professors, you're making connections, you're getting adjusted to the curriculum. So with that in mind, you want to get adjusted as quickly as possible. That way, your grades won't suffer in the future. And speaking of grades, number 2, students have got to study, okay? You have got to study. This is not high school, I'm sorry. You can't come to college, wait till last minute, try to cram all the information in, and think you're gonna get an A? No, it doesn't work like that. You will fail, okay? You have got to study. If you're not used to forming good study habits, what I would suggest is to use the resources that your college provides for you, or if you're good at working with groups, try to form a study group. If you like working by yourself, it's okay. Try to review the information as much as possible, or just summarize the notes to the point where you can understand them. And depending on your major, basically all the information between your classes is gonna relate to each other. So chances are, if you do bad on the information in the beginning, you're probably gonna see it in the future. So you might as well learn it now. Lastly, number 3, students cannot give up. Do not give up, okay? Don't let one incident dictate your progress in the future throughout your whole college career. There's going to be some bad days where you might not get the grade you wanted on a test or a quiz, but just keep trying, okay? Every person has their days. So, with this in mind, again, to restate, students need to always be ahead, students need to study, and students cannot give up in order to succeed in college. So yes, college is difficult, but with all this in mind, college is what you make it.
Skip school? Well, I have. As a commuter student and a college student, you're going to have your long days and your short days. And on those long days, it'll depend on how late your classes end, club meetings, social events at school, or even just hanging out with friends will depend on how late you'll be on campus and how late you'll get home. And by the time you get home, you'll probably be tired and ready to go to bed or just relax, but you can't because you have homework and studying to do. And by the time you finish doing that homework and studying, it'll probably be pretty late. And so depending on your class scheduling, you may have an early class. And if you have an early class, you have to decide what time you're going to get up for that class, how long it take you to get dressed and ready in the morning, and you may not feel like doing all that, but you have to, because in college, missing one lecture is like missing 2 days in high school, and so you probably will want to make sure you make it to that lecture. Being a commuter student in college isn't easy, but it is manageable. One of the ways I manage being a commuter student is time management. Time management is a key to your success as a commuter student. One of the ways I manage my time is through scheduling. When I plan my schedule, I think of how long it takes me to get up in the morning, how long it takes me to get dressed, how long does it take me to get to school, and how early I want my classes to be, and how late I want them to end. And then another important factor in being a commuter student and being a successful one is making friends. And making friends is important for two reasons: educational and social. Educationally wise, they're important to help you with things you maybe get confused on in class, study sessions or review sessions, and just helping you get through school when you have those rough days and rough classes. And so social wise, they're important because it's good to have people hang out with between classes to talk to about classes or discuss different events going on campus and around the city. And then another way that I manage being a commuter student is being a responsible student. In college, they have a lot of expectations of you. One of those expectations is being a responsible student. And to be a responsible student, you need to check Brightspace often, check your emails often, because those are the main ways your professors communicate with you. And you want to make sure you know when they change something or add an assignment or when things are due or when you have an exam. And so, in being a commuter student, the ways that I think are to be successful are time management, making friends, and being a responsible student. Being a commuter student isn't easy, but your best memories are made in college, so enjoy the ride.